when we get on this chase of trying to figure out what we should do and how we should do it and if we're doing the right thing, and we're just always chasing, we always end up becoming little copies of the ways that other people are doing things, and thinking that because they appear a certain way, or they appear to have the things that we want, or they appear to be happy, that if we sort of do the thing that they're doing, that then we will find our own satisfaction and happiness. But we never really truly find it. This morning, I was reading an excerpt from the Tao Te Ching, and I want to share it with you. The Tao Te Ching is a spiritual text written by Lao Tzu, and it's basically 81 verses. They're very, very short, and I think the way that you're supposed to read it, if there is a way that you're supposed to do anything, is to just read one verse per day and sort of let it marinate and think on it throughout the day and reflect on it. So that's sort of what I've been doing. I don't do it every day, but this morning, as I was having my lemon water, I thought, let's open it up. So today, and the Tao, what it is basically my understanding of it. You could probably look this up and prove me wrong, but my understanding is that it is a text that speaks of all things, meaning the unspeakable, the everything, the universe in its entirety, including our souls, including everything that we know and everything that we don't know, and the all that is. And one of the things that it says in the very beginning of the book is that to speak of the Tao is to misunderstand it. So it's an acknowledgement that even speaking about these things, we're already in error. It's sort of this admission that I know all and yet I know nothing as a soul, as a human. And that's because everything is a duality. Everything works in opposites. That's where we find balance. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. The point is, I wanted to read today's excerpt to you, and it goes like this. The Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born, thus it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself. Thus, it is present for all beings. So here, when I use the word the Tao is infinite, eternal, I'm thinking of our essence, our being, as infinite and eternal, never being born and never dying, just existing in different forms. Okay, and then it goes on to say, the master stays behind. That is why she is ahead. See that duality that I was talking about? She is detached from all things. That is why she is one with all things. Because she has let go of herself, she is perfectly fulfilled. It speaks on this letting go, this detachment, this trying to look for answers, look for the right way of doing things. When we get on this chase of trying to figure out what we should do and how we should do it, and if we're doing the right thing, and we're just always chasing, we always end up sort of becoming little copies of the ways that other people are doing things, and thinking that because they appear a certain way, or they appear to have the things that we want, or they appear to be happy, that if we sort of do the thing that they're doing, that then we will find our own satisfaction and happiness. But we never really truly find it, because all the answers exist inside of us. It's only when we take time to slow down that we speed up the process. You'll never get there by looking at the outside world. And we know this, we feel this, we know that there's something more. We know this because when we're not actively pursuing a purpose that's greater than ourselves, we usually end up feeling pretty miserable. And some people just go through life completely asleep, just kind of seeking the next thing to get them excited and take their mind off of the emptiness that they feel. So they'll do things like party and drink too much alcohol and watch too much TV and even traveling too much. You can fall into this trap of just seeking the next exciting thing so that you can just escape that emptiness that you're feeling. So there is this spiritual side to life where, yes, we should go within and stop trying to band-aid our emptiness with all these activities. But at the very same time, our life here is meant to be lived. We are meant to feel the experiences that we can feel. We're meant to have fun, we're meant to dance, and we're meant to have arguments and discussions, and we're meant to experience every emotion on the emotional scale, including anger, including sadness, including guilt, including all of it, all of the low feeling, low vibrating that we talk about. Stay away from the low vibrational emotions. Get yourself into the elevated emotions. Yes, absolutely. Elevated emotions feel amazing, and you want to feel amazing. And your emotional guidance system is your higher self guiding you towards a better feeling place, because when you're in a better feeling place, you're on your way to the goals and the desires that you have. That's just how it works. But we're still meant to experience all of it. It's when we find that acceptance that we're truly able to step back and we're truly able to detach ourselves from the feeling, from the situation, and we're able just to be at peace with what is. That is your ultimate goal, is to find peace. Stop looking to the external environment to give you that peace, and just create it from within and take it with you everywhere you go. And when you dip down, and you will, but you can quickly remind yourself who you are, what you are, that there is something so much greater, and we're just this tiny little speck in this vast, vast universe that we can't even begin to comprehend how giant and massive and what the purpose of all of it is. But if we can zoom out with our understanding of how small we are, then we can find peace in those situations that bring us down, that make us feel lost and empty and unhappy. So if you're looking to find the path, the right path to take to get where you want to be, to have the things you want, to have the experiences that you want, to have the relationships that you want, and you're trying to figure out what are the things that I need to do to get there, and you're looking to other people to look for clues, but yet you're still lost and you're still confused and you're still second guessing yourself, my advice to you would be, allow yourself some time to get bored. We have very little boredom nowadays in our modern world, right? Because any moment of boredom can quickly be filled with some type of entertainment and distraction very easily. But if you allow yourself some time to just get bored and get sort of over that hump of the pain of it, because I don't know why, but boredom does feel a little painful. Quiet feels a little painful. That's why we're so quick to try to fill those moments. But if you can get over that little hump of the discomfort of it, you'll start to get something really cool that you actually is what you really are seeking, and that is inspiration, inspired thought, ideas. One of the greatest points of suffering for us as humans is that we don't act on our inspiration because we receive it all the time, but we either don't know how to hear it, or we ignore it, or we just don't follow through because we get distracted with something else. So if you have a goal, like let's say you have a fitness goal, and you receive the inspired thought that says, well, maybe I should do this workout this many times a week, or maybe I should do this type of meal planning. And you have that idea, and then a few days go by and you're not doing the thing that you said that you would do. You'll always find yourself in a place that doesn't feel good. And I think that every time that we find ourselves in a place that doesn't feel good, we need to acknowledge that it is because we're ignoring our higher self that is trying to guide us through ideas and inspired thoughts. And we made promises because we knew in the moment that that was the way. And then we didn't follow through on the promise. Same goes with any goal that you have. When you don't follow through on the promise that you make to yourself, you end up feeling really bad about yourself. The way that we reach any goal is by following through with the promises that you made to your own inspired thoughts. When you try to copy or duplicate what someone else did, you actually won't get there. You'll only get there by following through on your own promises. And you do yourself such a great disservice by breaking a promise that you made to yourself. You'll never manifest your dream life if you can't hold true to the promises that you've made to yourself. Because there is no right way to get there. There is no one way to get anywhere. There are many ways to get to the place where you want to get. You just have to pick one and commit and do that action that you think that you need to do until a new inspired thought comes in. And then you may change the action and do it a different way. But moving down the path, you have to not only stay committed to what you said you were going to do, but then you also have to stay committed to your faith. And you must believe that you cannot get it wrong. That in the moment that you had the desire, in the moment that you wanted something so badly that it made you cry, that in that moment, everything that you need to accomplish it, to get there, was birthed inside of you and created within this vast universe. That everything that you needed was created in that very moment that you decided that you were going for it. And those resources will come into you and will work through you as long as you stay committed and open and in the faith and belief that you cannot get this wrong, that you cannot mess it up, that you cannot fail, as long as you keep moving, as long as you don't give up hope, as long as you keep believing that your own personal inspired thoughts are the way to get there. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, and it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying about you, about your goal, about your dream. None of it matters. Dreams are always invisible until they become visible. And that means that your invisible dream cannot be seen by anybody else. Don't expect people to get on board with you. Don't expect people to cheer you on. Don't expect people to be supportive, because you're asking them to see something that is invisible. They won't see it until it's done. But you see it because it was your desire placed on your heart by a higher power. And your job is to walk the walk and talk the talk and make it happen. And when you're not doing that, you're not going to feel good. And you don't feel good. And you can think back on different goals that you've set in your life. And think back on when you made a promise and you said you were going to do a certain thing and then you did that thing, how good that felt. And then think how bad it always felt when you weren't doing the thing. Or when you were trying to get a validation from the outside world. So you did the workout, but you looked in the mirror and your body hasn't changed. So that doesn't feel good. Doing the workout felt great because you were doing the activity of your inspired thought. But looking in the mirror felt bad because you're now looking to the outside world to give you validation that what you did was enough. Do you see the difference? So keep your eyes and your mind on the inside work and try to shut out the outside world's validation to prove to you that what you're doing is working. What you're doing is working. Just keep doing it. And when you're unsure and when you don't know what the next step should be, or when you feel like you've hit a dead end or a wall, take a moment to sit down in a place where you won't be distracted, or maybe go into nature and just sit in the discomfort of not knowing and not understanding. And let the silence just take over you. Ask the questions that you want to ask. Ask the questions to your future self. So if all things exist simultaneously, that means that our past and our present and our future all exists within the realm of the universe. So if it all exists, then we should be able to ask our future self questions. So you, assuming that you've achieved your goal that you've set, your future self has already achieved it, assuming that, go ahead and when you're sitting in silence, ask the question, what did I do to get the body that I wanted, that I want? What did I do to reach that abundant lifestyle that I'm seeking? How did I travel to all those beautiful exotic locations? How did I find that relationship of my dreams? How did I heal the relationship with my family members? What did I do to make those friendships? What did I do to stop feeling lonely and start feeling accepted and start feeling like a part of something and start feeling happy and start feeling like I'm having a lot of fun? What did I do to stop being so serious all the time? What did I do to lighten up? What did I do to loosen up? How did I loosen my grip on trying to control everything? How did I find my peace? You see, when you ask these questions, you'll receive answers. You won't receive them right away. You might. But most likely you'll just receive them like in the most random place. A week later, you'll be out doing something. And something will just align and something will just click and some coincidence will happen. And you'll receive an answer to every question that you ask. So if it's health that you want, vitality, ask the question, how did I get into the healthiest version of myself? How did I get so much energy? How did I get to feeling incredible, to feeling better than I felt in years? Go into the silence when you're confused, when you're scared, when you're unsure, and ask the questions and allow yourself to be led and guided by a force that is so incredibly massive that we can't even comprehend it. And along the way, have fun. Choose to have fun. Choose to actually enjoy yourself. Stop punishing yourself for not being where you want to be, for feeling how you don't want to feel. Just allow it in. The abundance, the love, the everything. You know, yesterday we were walking a nature trail with my husband, and they had these posts where you could scan your phone and get like a tidbit of information about the spot where you're standing. And we were on this long dock, and it was over this marsh. And the audio said, you know, if it's low tide and you look down and you see the sandy floor, you'll see little crabs. And the little crabs that live there, they go through the sand and they actually eat the grains of sand. And the grains of sand provide all the nutrients that they need to live. And it's an infinite buffet of food. They will never run out. And I think that that's how all of life is. It's an infinite buffet of everything that we want. It's just that in our own restrictive thinking and our own unwillingness to open up and receive everything that is here, we place ourselves in a mental prison. It's a place of resistance. That's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel like you're not abundant. That's why you feel like you're not healthy. That's why you feel that you're not experiencing the relationships that you want to feel. It's because you're in a place of resistance. It's up to us to remind ourselves every single day of who we are, what we're capable of, that we are unlimited beings. And everything that we've gone through up until this point happened exactly the way that it needed to happen to get us to the place where we want to be. And we get to have it all. And we get to have fun doing it. That's my message for you today. Inspired by Chapter 7 of the Tao Te Ching. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, wherever this may find you. And please go ahead and comment below if this resonates. Share it with a friend. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.